so directly.
Let's look at The Guardian now, the front page. Share surge takes Bezos' wealth to $106 billion. This is a story we were talking about a couple of days ago, the fact that Jeff Bezos now is richer than Bill Gates. What do you make of The Guardian's angle on this a couple of days later, where they're looking at the impact of inflation, etc., and who's richer than who?
Do you know what I would have expected
from...
I tell you what I would have expected from The Guardian, and Jeff Bezos is a hedge fund manager. I haven't quite reached his levels yet, but that's the ambition. OK, look at my pen, it's plastic, sadly.
Just remember this programme when you get there.
What I thought the angle Guardian would take is, if you want to become the richest man in the world, what you do is you have $25 billion of turnover in Europe for your company Amazon, but only pay $17 million in tax. That's how you become the richest man in the world. Pay next to no tax, albeit, yes, you employ 65,000 people in the EU. I'll tell you what's really interesting, though, from The Guardian. The richest man in history is a British immigrant. It's an immigrant into Britain. It's the nephew of William the Conqueror, who was the richest man ever, allowing for inflation.
And
there were you,
They've got a list.
Alan Rufus.
Okay.
Alan, who would have thought it? And here's interesting. You might have thought that it was the English who became wealthy from robbing the empire, places like India, but it's not. It was apparently this European immigrant who brought them their wealth. It's been a wealthy country for a long time.
Just as while we're on the subject of wealth, I mean, we're coming up to Davos, the World Economic Forum, in a couple of weeks, and I'm going this time, which I'm looking forward to. One of the subjects that always comes up is the fact that the rich are getting richer, the poor are not getting the benefit, this gap's getting wider. We had the World Bank report out yesterday talking about the fact that this year is going to be a really good year for economic growth. The question is, who's really winning? Is it really just the Jeff Bezoses of this world, or is there a trickle down?
I'm not even going to argue in favour of trickle-down. I think it just makes people really angry who are at the bottom. I will say that the average pay of the 65,000 employees in the EU for Amazon, I'm not here to defend Amazon, is above the national average. At least they're creating jobs. And the foundation work that Jeff Bezos does is not somebody who's just hoarding it. Remember,
also, he's going into space.
And there's not much he can do if his share price keeps on going up and up and up. But it's the employees and it's the jobs and it's the quality of jobs. Now, there's been some negative press about the quality of jobs as well on that. But as long as he keeps creating jobs, particularly in Britain, and keeps on investing here, which he's doing, then at least, whether you call it trickle down or something else, at least there's expansion into the UK and more jobs being created. I hope they accelerate that. I really hope they do it, and I hope they accelerate it around the UK.